Today we'll be profiling X-Sabers. I've had a lot of fun with this deck, taken it to locals a couple of times. It's a very fun synchro-based deck that is no longer in cycle, but I feel like it still has potential. Anyway, let's get started with the deck. First up, I run double X-Saber Boggart Knight. Boggart Knight really gets your synchro plays going. You can normal summon him and then special summon another X-Saber monster from your hand. So you go normal summon Boggart Knight, special Pashuul, or special any of the other ones. This is probably your best play. It allows you to go into Hunley and pop off back row. Next up, we're running double XX Saber Darksoul. Darksoul is basically your scum of the deck. When he's sent to the graveyard during the end phase of that turn, you can search an X-Saber monster from your deck to your hand. He really lets you go and do Trishula quite easily. He makes all the synchro plays easier. Next up, we're running double XX Saber Fullhelmknight. Fullhelmknight can negate an attack once during the time that he's face up on the field. Whenever he runs over a monster, you can special a level 4 or lower X-Saber monster from your grave to the field. He is your level 3 tuner and makes it easy to go into Gottoms. So it really makes the loop easier when you have him out. Next up, we're running double X-Saber Pashuul. Pashuul is your level 2 tuner. Now he's a warrior, so he can be searched out by ROTA, which we run 3 of. You can set Pashuul. The opponent will attack into it, and then they realize that it can't be destroyed by battle. It's pretty funny. Anyway, we run 2 of Pashuul. Let's see. Next we run double XX Saber Emmersblade. Emmersblade originally I thought was bad because you have to get his effect when he's destroyed by battle. I feel like it should be card effects because it's kind of weak compared to the meta right now, but after testing it a lot, I've realized that like setting Emmersblade first turn or just crashing it and specialing off of him is a really good play. Like, it allows you to get X-Sabers on the board quickly, and you really just want to be able to spam with the deck. So his stats aren't great. I still play 2 of them. Next up, we play 2 of XX Saber Faultroll. Faultroll is like the big daddy of the deck. When you control 2 or more X-Saber monsters, you can special summon Faultroll to your side of the field. And then once per turn, you can special summon a level 4 or lower X-Saber monster from the graveyard. Faultroll is really great. He allows you to go into Spark. Your Gottoms is made so easy. And he's a 24 beat stick. So I only run him at 2. It clogs at 3, in my opinion. Next up, for the last X-Saber, we run 1 of XX Saber Ragigura. Ragigura, when he's normal or special summoned, you can add a X-Saber monster from your grave to your hand. His stats are pretty bad, so you're leaving yourself wide open if you summon him, but he lets you get off the loop with Gottoms. If you guys don't know what that is, I'll probably be making a video on it eventually. And for the last monsters non-X-Saber, we run double of Spell Striker, because I feel like Spell Striker can make Beast and Barkion so easily, and in this format, Beast Barkion is probably the strongest lock, or just synchros in general, that can shut down decks like BA, Necros. Like first turn Beast, like Necros now has to play around that, and Spell Striker really makes it easy because you can just use Pashuul. And moving on to spells, we're playing triple of Reinforcement of the Army. Now, I really feel like this shouldn't be at 3 in the game. It's pretty unhealthy, but it's such a great card. It allows me to search out, I believe, 3 or 4 targets in the deck. It makes my Beast and Barkion plays easy. It keeps my consistency going, and I wouldn't run it at any less than 3. Next up, we run triple Upstart Goblin. Upstart Goblin allows your opponent to gain 1,000, you draw a card. You know, more consistency in this deck. I found that when I started testing it, I was bricking too much, so I just threw in the Upstarts, cut some unnecessary things, and it runs a lot more fluidly now. next up, to add to consistency even more, we're running double fire formation Tenki. Now, Tenki allows you to get out either Ragigura or Boggart Knight from your deck to your hand, and Boggart Knight is obviously one of the most important, even though he has his drawback. Tenki just makes that so much more easy to go into. For the loss of the consistency, we're running double pot of duality. So first turn, I feel like duality is great because you can just set an Emmersblade, set a Darksoul, or set a Pashuul. Duality, get what you want. Like, we play minimal amount of traps in the deck just to stay alive, and duality really gets you to those traps. As well as half of the turns, I really feel like you're not special summoning or synchro summoning, so it still gives you the consistency. And next up, I played double Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion really allows you to pump your synchro plays faster. If you hit any Mirror Forces or Solemn, or you synchro into, fusion into Norden, you get your monsters back. You synchro again, it just speeds everything up. And for the one-ofs, we're running one book, one Raigeki, and one Soul Charge. Obviously, a lot of decks are running that now, but it's your only out to things like Dark Law and other decks that are difficult to deal with, like Necros. And moving on to traps, we run a very small trap count. So starting off, we play triple Gottoms Emergency Call. Now, this card can clog pretty often, to be honest, but it's the best trap card in the deck, and it allows you to special summon 2 X-Sabers back from your grave. So, obviously, one of the best cards the deck has. Next, we run double of Fiendish Chain. Now, Fiendish Chain stops things like Trish, it stops Necros, it stops all the meta decks except for BA and all that. You know, it protects your life points, basically. It lets you get off plays later on, and, you know, some things just can't be stopped. So, Fiendish Chain, great. We run one Solemn and one Vanities. Some of the best traps in the game right now. And to round it off, we run one Reinforced Truth. If you guys don't know what this is, you get out a level 2 or lower warrior from your deck. So it allows you to special summon Pashuul straight from the deck. You have to skip your battle phase, but you usually do it on your opponent's turn. And you can't get OTK'd, so that's always nice. Moving more towards the extra deck. For the X-Saber monsters, we'll be running double XX Saber Hunley. When Hunley is synchro summoned, you can destroy 3 spell or trap cards on the field. Obviously, a really broken effect. Level 6 synchro, so you go Boggart Knight, Pashuul, special, Hunley, and then pop. Hunley being on the mat. And we run one X-Saber Swozer. You know, Swozer is not the best, but I feel like you have to run him just because of Boggart Knight's drawback. He's a 25 beater, so, you know, he's not terrible, but you don't go into him very much. And for the last X-Saber, we run double XX Saber Gottoms. Gottoms allows you to go into the loop. He's a 31 beat stick, takes cards out of your opponent's hand. He is really great. And for the other synchro monsters, we run one Armades, one Beast, one Barkion. You go into these quite often, not so much Armades, but Beast Barkion is so necessary. Shuts down a lot of decks right now. And we play one Goyo Guardian, one Black Rose, which can also be a Clear Wing, by the way. I'm thinking of switching to Clear Wing, but for now it's just Black Rose. We run one Spark, protects your monsters. We run one Trish, probably the best synchro in the game right now. You just go 3/3/3, you sync up into it, and it takes care of a lot of annoying cards in the game. Like Cosmos, you can get over Forerunner, just banish it, and then or just take out their field spell. It really sets them back. Now, since we play the instant fusions, I run double Norden. Norden can be run at 1 since we're only running 2 instant fusion, but Norden is, you know, I don't want to have that dead instant fusion in my hand, so I feel like 2 is okay. I might cut it for space, but for now it's what I'm running. Some of you might not be expecting it, but Constellar Polotny M7. You can overlay 2 of your 6s, detach Faultroll, and then add Faultroll back to hand, Pashuul him again, so it really resets those plays, as well as you can just bounce a problematic card on your opponent's side of the field. You can, it's a great XC. It happens a lot. We also run 1 Exciton Knight. This could be switched out for a Castel, because it'd probably come up more. For now it's Exciton. I'm still going to be testing around with this deck though. Thanks for watching, guys.